My husband, 34-year-old male, and I, 34-year-old female, have 6 kids. Our 2 oldest are our 15-year-old daughter, Autumn, and our 13-year-old son, Thatcher. Thatcher and Autumn are both at the age where they don't go trick-or-treating for Halloween anymore. Both of them have different parties they want to go to. Thatcher and his girlfriend want to go as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. My son plays baseball and watches all sports, including the NFL. His girlfriend is into Taylor Swift. Autumn and her boyfriend want to go as Marie and Pierre Curie. The issue has been Autumn and her boyfriend saying mean things to Thatcher and his girlfriend about their costume. The biggest issue is that they said that his girlfriend shouldn't be Taylor Swift because his girlfriend is black. We are white and live in a very white area. She's one of the few black kids in the district. Thatcher got into a massive argument with Autumn over this. We weren't home when this happened, but when Thatcher told us what happened, we spoke to both of them. Thatcher was justifiably really angry. He said that it didn't matter because anyone can be Taylor Swift for Halloween. Thatcher tries to learn about his girlfriend's struggles and culture. We talked to Autumn about this, and she at first dismissed it. We pushed her and she wouldn't apologise until we had to threaten to take away her electronics. A few days later she made a comment about how dumb the costume was, and how they're only going as it because they're famous, and how my son is just following trends. Autumn was talked to again and she apologised. The last straw was yesterday. I had gotten a call from Autumn's science teacher that she and her boyfriend were complaining about Thatcher's costume and had made other kids uncomfortable. I apologised and she said that Autumn and her boyfriend had said discriminatory things before, and I asked why she didn't tell me. She told me she emailed me. After talking for a bit, we realised the email in the school system was wrong, and I gave her my correct email. She said she'd help me get it changed in the system. I talked to Autumn and she said that she and her boyfriend just tell the truth in class. She also admitted she wasn't sorry for what she said to Thatcher. I told her she wasn't allowed to go to the Halloween party, and she told me I was overreacting. I asked some of my friends for advice and they said I was being too hard on her. My son, however, is really upset and says that knowing she's getting grounded for her behaviour makes him more comfortable bringing his girlfriend over. He says he wouldn't want to live with us if we didn't punish her racism. Am I the idiot? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your daughter is making somebody uncomfortable due to race. Some action is in order. Nobody can say for certain what the best way of dealing with this might be, but clearly you needed to do something. A long discussion with your daughter is in order. Given that your son is dating somebody of a different race and that you are not tolerating your daughter's behaviour, I think we can safely surmise you are not encouraging racism in your household, so you need to get to the heart of the matter and her behaviour. I'd guess part of the issue is the strong trend against cultural appropriation. Your daughter has probably misinterpreted this trend to be that kids can only dress up as people they share a racial background with. This is understandable, as even adults have trouble with the nuances of what's offensive and what's okay. Have a talk with her free of judgment and see if you can help her work through what is bothering her and more appropriate ways to address it. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your daughter is displaying concerning behaviour and evidently has a history of doing so. You need to work on getting through to her so she doesn't carry that behaviour into her adult life. I'd also recommend some therapy, someone to really dig in to find out why your kid thinks it's okay to say these things and help them understand how hurtful and wrong it can be. She may not be willing to open up to you, so a third party could be helpful. As a parent, you have a duty to raise a respectful, thoughtful, kind child. That means you need to take steps to understand why she is behaving as she is and change her mindset. If keeping her from going to her own Halloween event will accomplish that, then go for it. Comment 3. Absolutely the frick not. Not the idiot, and whoever these friends are, that you asked for advice from, and said you're being too hard on your daughter about being literally discriminatory, are not friends. They're closet racists themselves. Dump them. Immediately. Because that's probably where Autumn learned this behaviour from. Absolutely not. Now for the update. After I laid down the law with Autumn, it seemed like maybe, just maybe, things were going to simmer down. That's when the universe decided to prove me wrong. The morning after my last update, I found Thatcher in the kitchen, eyes puffy from lack of sleep. He confessed that his girlfriend's parents got wind of the situation and were fuming. They had confronted our family, understandably upset about the discriminatory comments. An emotional meeting ensued, and after many apologies we thought we had smoothed things over. That was until they pulled Thatcher's girlfriend from the school, citing a toxic environment. Word about the conflict spread like wildfire, and soon our quiet family life was interrupted by whispers and stares in our predominantly white neighbourhood. Yet, juxtaposed against the backlash, were voices of support from unexpected places. A group of parents from the school organised an anti-racism workshop, inviting our family to participate. It was an eye-opening experience for all of us, especially for Autumn, who sat there in stubborn silence. Autumn's boyfriend was another story. His parents, horrified by the news of his behaviour, had him transfer schools and enrolled him in counselling. Rumour has it he's been reaching out to Thatcher's girlfriend's family to apologise, though I don't know the details. Then came the bombshell. Autumn broke down one night, admitting that her boyfriend had been pressuring her to act a certain way, saying it was us against the world. She was terrified of losing him, so she adopted his twisted views. With him out of the picture, she was like a puppet with her strings cut, lost and confused. We started therapy for her too. It's a long road ahead, but she's beginning to understand the gravity of her actions. Thatcher, bless his heart, managed to navigate through this storm with a maturity beyond his years. He's become quite the advocate at school, speaking out against racism and organising inclusive events with the student council. His girlfriend, although at a different school, remains close to him, and they've become a symbol of resilience for many of our neighbours. As for the Halloween party, it never happened. The school cancelled it in favour of a community forum on inclusion and respect, and our family attended together. Thatcher and his girlfriend joined via video call, holding strong to their Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift costume plan. Autumn went as herself, stating it was time she stopped hiding behind characters and faced who she really needed to be. The mother inside me is exhausted, but I'm cautiously optimistic. We've been through the ringer, but somehow this mess has sparked crucial conversations in our community. I won't pretend everything is fixed, it's not. But maybe, just maybe, we've taken the first steps towards something better. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Dealing with the aftermath of a discriminatory incident is a complex and emotionally charged process, and it sounds like your family is handling it with grace and accountability. The fact that Autumn's boyfriend transferred schools and sought counselling shows that he is taking steps to address his actions and their consequences. Meanwhile, Autumn admitting to being pressured and starting therapy indicates a level of self-awareness and commitment to personal growth that is commendable. It's also worth highlighting Thatcher's maturity and advocacy against racism. It's not easy for young people to stand up for what is right, especially in the face of peer pressure and societal issues. Your decision to cancel the Halloween party in favour of attending a community forum on inclusion and respect shows that your family is prioritising the well-being of the community and fostering a dialogue about difficult topics. It's an encouraging sign that the family is moving forward constructively and that the incident has not only been a learning experience for Autumn and her boyfriend, but for the entire community. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Firstly, it is admirable that some parents in the community have rallied to organise an anti-racism workshop in response to the incident. This kind of proactive approach can help educate and prevent future occurrences of bias and discrimination. Additionally, the fact that the girlfriend's parents decided to pull her out of school is a decision that rests entirely on their shoulders. While it's a drastic measure, it does not make your family responsible for the escalation. It is also worth noting that your family's involvement in the Community Forum on Inclusion and Respect is a testament to your commitment to fostering a more inclusive environment. Engaging in these community discussions is essential for creating lasting change. Lastly, the cautious optimism at the end of your story is a realistic and healthy perspective. Change does not happen overnight, and it's important to recognise the small steps towards progress while remaining vigilant and continuing to strive for improvement in societal attitudes towards racism. Comment 3. Not the idiot. The situation you have described is without a doubt challenging and fraught with emotion. However, it seems that your family has taken significant steps to address the situation responsibly. The support from other parents in the community is a silver lining, showing that your family is not alone in its stand against racism. This solidarity is crucial for community healing and preventing similar incidents in the future. Furthermore, the choice to cancel a social event like a Halloween party in favour of attending a forum on inclusion and respect is a powerful statement about your family's priorities. It demonstrates a willingness to sacrifice personal enjoyment for the greater good of promoting understanding and tolerance. The story of Autumn and her boyfriend, while difficult, may serve as a catalyst for necessary conversations around racism and inclusivity in your community. It's a reminder that even when faced with adversity, a family can contribute to fostering a more just and compassionate society. Now, for the next story. My husband passed away about 3 years ago. We were together for 9 years, married for 4 years at the time of his passing. He never had a great relationship with his parents, and he was very vocal about that to all of our friends. My husband and I kept our finances very private and did not share much with his parents, as my husband did not want them to be involved. His parents are decently well off and can provide for themselves. We would openly share finances with my parents, and during the term of our marriage we have taken financial help from my parents when needed, but we have never asked his parents to help us out at any time. My husband and I also had a home that we purchased together while we were engaged. I had some legal issues and his parents did have to sign a document, as we did not have a living will. They hesitated, and his mum kept making snarky comments about the car I drive and shoes I buy. It was resolved eventually, but I think the process just gave me a bitter feeling. His parents waited to see if their names were listed as beneficiaries for any accounts we had, and after it was confirmed that they were not, they stopped contacting me. The last time they spoke to me was 2 years ago. I've started to see someone new over the past year, and they are clearly not happy. It's become a "why should she have anything from our son" mentality. I also lost my mum about 6 months ago. A few weeks ago, his parents called and demanded I give them all the wedding jewellery back that was received for our 2017 wedding, as it is not mine and belongs to his mum. Nothing given from any guests or his parents during the wedding was family heirlooms or passed down jewellery that would have sentimental value. They were just gifts from those who attended our wedding. They did not even show up to my mother's funeral or call me. They are also claiming that the home we had isn't even mine, as their son put the down payment. Untrue, as my parents had helped us put a large amount of the down payment for that home, but my husband never shared that with his parents, since we never wanted to rub it in their faces. They also think that their son funded everything and our entire lifestyle, which is another lie, as we had built our life with money that was made by both of us, not just him. In my perspective, I was married to their son. We both worked, built a life together. And any gifts given to me during my wedding or things purchased between money that their son and I made are not theirs. His mother has been harassing and calling my family, and it has been non-stop comments to the point where she questioned my upbringing that my deceased mother gave me. All my family members think they are disgusting to do this to their son's widow, but it also gets awkward as we are trying to be mindful that they lost their son. My heart still goes out to them for their loss, as I can imagine they are also grieving, but I'm just confused. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I would go no contact and tell them why. Say something like, I really tried to keep contact with you because I thought we could share in our grief of losing your son, my husband. It has been made very clear lately that you would rather try and dismantle the life I had built with your son together. Just like you, I'm grieving. This is a life your son and I both contributed to together. You have it completely wrong that your son funded our life together. We were partners in all things, including finances. I know you don't have a legal leg to stand on, which is why I try to chalk this up to you grieving, but you have crossed a line, and now, because of your actions, things must change. I will be going no contact with you and blocking you on all platforms. I will also advise my family members to no longer entertain your deliberate attack on me and block you as well. If you try to escalate this, I will contact the police about a restraining order. I often wondered why my husband never felt close to you, his own parents. Thank you for finally offering clarity on this situation. I hope you speak to a therapist and find out why you are such a spiteful and hateful person. Goodbye and good luck. Comment 2. Time to go no contact. No kids for old mother-in-law to claim, so she has no claim on your life. There is now no reason to stay in contact. If their love for you does not continue because their son died, then you would not be in the wrong to cut these people out of your life. You owe them nothing. Comment 3. Not the idiot, but why are the lines of communication still open? Block them expeditiously. Plenty of people lose their children and manage to not be jerks. You don't have to be their emotional punching bag. Now for the update. It's been a rough month. The harassment from my late husband's parents has escalated beyond what I could have ever imagined. They've taken to showing up unannounced at my house, leaving me feeling unsafe in my own home. I've had to file for a restraining order, which was a lengthy and emotionally draining process. I never wanted to involve the legal system, but I was left with no choice. My new partner has been incredibly supportive, but the stress of the situation is taking its toll on our relationship. He's been patient and understanding, but I can tell it's hard for him to see me constantly upset and dealing with the fallout of my past. To add to the emotional turmoil, my late husband's parents have now filed a lawsuit against me, claiming they have a right to part of my home and some of his personal belongings that were left to me. The thought of having to fight this out in court is overwhelming, and the legal fees are starting to pile up. It's like I'm being punished for moving on with my life. Last week they somehow contacted my employer, spinning a narrative of me being an ungrateful widow who took advantage of their son. My job has been supportive, but the gossip it has stirred up is humiliating, and it's affecting my professional reputation. What hurts the most is that they've managed to drive a wedge between me and some mutual friends who were unsure of who to believe. I've lost a couple of friendships because of their relentless campaign against me. It's like experiencing the loss of my husband all over again, but this time it's accompanied by a smear on his memory. Every day I'm just trying to find the strength to keep going and to hold on to the love and support of those who have stood by me through this nightmare. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You are in a very difficult situation that no one should have to endure, especially after the loss of a spouse. It's important to recognise that you have every right to feel safe and secure in your own home. And the unannounced visits from your late husband's parents are a clear invasion of your privacy and personal space. Seeking a restraining order is a justified and necessary step in protecting yourself from what can only be described as harassment. Your emotional well-being is paramount, and it's unacceptable for anyone to make you feel unsafe, particularly in your own home. The fact that they are also reaching into your professional life by contacting your employer with false narratives is an alarming attempt to isolate and damage you socially and financially. It's a form of defamation that can have serious consequences on your career, and it's understandable that such actions would cause emotional strain. It's also particularly cruel that this is causing you to lose friendships and is tarnishing your late husband's memory, which should be preserved with respect and love, not embroiled in conflict. Your strength in this situation is commendable, and relying on the support of your new partner and those who stand by you is essential. Remember that you are not responsible for the toxic behavior of others, and you should not feel guilty for taking the necessary steps to defend yourself and maintain your peace of mind. The lawsuit over your home and belongings is another battle you should not have to fight alone, and I hope that you have legal support to address this unjust claim. Stay strong, and know that you are doing what's necessary to protect yourself and your future. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot? My mother-in-law was helping my husband with our baby. I got a notification on the baby camera in his crib and checked on it. When I opened it, my mother-in-law was talking about me to my husband. He was standing up for me, of course. She was lying to my husband about a conversation she and I had. I confronted her about what she said, and she is mad that I was snooping. Am I the idiot? Edit, FYI. I opened the camera because she told me the baby cries all the time, so I was checking to see if he was crying. I can tell what is wrong with him based on his cry. She was in the middle of a lie about me when I pressed the volume button. I did not linger. I heard the lie and immediately contacted my husband. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I'm happy to know you are so comfortable talking about me to my husband in my own home. Oh, I'm snooping. In my home. I'm so grateful that you felt comfortable talking about me behind my back in my home. Sorry, I watched the security cams I set up for my babe and accidentally caught you talking trash behind my back in my home. Sorry, that isn't snooping. It's almost as if you knew I'd snoop. For you to say something like that to my face without saying it to my face shows who you are as a person. Comment 2. FYI. I opened the camera because she told me the baby cries all the time, so I was checking to see if he was crying. I can tell what is wrong with him based on his cry. She was in the middle of a lie about me when I pressed volume on. I did not linger. I heard the lie and immediately contacted my husband. Comment 3. I don't understand how anyone could say YTA. Even if you were snooping, it's irrelevant. They had a conversation in front of a camera you had. She's deflecting, saying you're snooping makes her mad. She's in the wrong. Not the idiot, it couldn't be anything else. Now for the update. After our confrontation, she spun the narrative to the family that I was the one breaking trust by spying. This caused a huge rift, with relatives taking sides and my husband caught in the middle. It felt like a soap opera unfolding in real life. Things took an unexpected turn when my husband, weary of the family drama, suggested couples therapy. We started sessions last week and it's been enlightening. We've been working through our communication and trust issues, which apparently were more frayed than I realized. During therapy, my husband admitted that he was starting to feel overwhelmed by his mother's influence in our lives. It was a bombshell moment when he revealed that she had been making unsolicited comments about our parenting long before the camera incident. Just when I thought things couldn't get more intense, my mother-in-law showed up unannounced at our doorstep, in tears, with a handwritten apology. She confessed to having been seeing a therapist herself, which was a shock to everyone. Apparently the confrontation and the family drama had been a wake-up call for her as well. In the spirit of therapy and moving forward, we invited her in for a candid conversation. She admitted to feeling insecure after her own children grew up and left home, and realized she was imposing too much on our space. It was a moment of vulnerability we had never seen from her. The most dramatic twist came when my sister-in-law called to apologize after overhearing her mum's confession. She admitted to having felt coerced into taking sides and divulged that my mother-in-law has been struggling with the fear of being left out since my father-in-law passed away 2 years ago. So as it stands, we've all agreed to family therapy. The first session is in a few days and I'm cautiously optimistic. It feels like we might be at the beginning of a long road to healing decades of unspoken tensions. My husband and I are closer for it, and it seems that just maybe this mess has laid the foundation for a more honest relationship with my mother-in-law. Life is strange. It took a surveillance camera to start tearing down walls built up over years. Here's hoping the next update is about how we're all on a better path. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Recognizing and addressing the issue of your mother-in-law's behavior is a crucial step towards healing your family dynamics. It's understandable to feel betrayed when someone close to you lies and causes a rift, especially when it pertains to sensitive topics such as parenting. It's commendable that your husband was proactive in suggesting couples therapy as a means to address these issues, showing a commitment to your relationship and to improving the situation. The fact that your husband opened up about his mother's unsolicited comments during therapy indicates that he values transparency and your feelings, which is a healthy foundation for any marriage. Moreover, your mother-in-law's gesture of showing up with a handwritten apology and her willingness to see a therapist demonstrate her acknowledgement of her mistakes and her intention to change. This level of self-awareness and accountability is a positive sign and could potentially lead to healing the fractured family ties. Lastly, your sister-in-law's apology and the shared insight into your mother-in-law's struggles since the passing of your father-in-law adds context to her actions, though it does not excuse them. Opting for family therapy shows a collective desire to work through these issues, and your cautious optimism is a balanced and realistic approach to the situation. It's also encouraging to hear that you and your husband have grown closer through navigating these challenges together. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's important to acknowledge the emotional complexities that come with family disputes. Your mother-in-law's actions, while hurtful, appear to stem from her own insecurities and grief, which she is now addressing through therapy. The fact that she took the initiative to apologize and expressed a wish to engage in family therapy is a significant step towards reconciliation. The presence of an apology, especially a handwritten one, indicates a level of sincerity and personal reflection. It's also quite positive that you and your family are willing to engage in a candid conversation about the boundaries that have been crossed and the impact of her actions. Establishing open communication is essential in resolving interpersonal conflicts and moving forward. It's also worth noting the role of grief in your mother-in-law's behavior. The loss of a spouse can lead to significant emotional turmoil, which may explain some of her actions, though again, not excuse them. The willingness of your sister-in-law to mend fences and offer her own apology suggests that your mother-in-law's behavior might have influenced her as well, and now the family appears ready to heal together. This shows a collective responsibility to the family unit and a shared goal of resolving the underlying issues. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your response to the situation shows a great deal of patience and willingness to understand the underlying issues that led to the conflict. It's important to recognize the value of professional help in resolving family issues, and the fact that both individual and family therapy are being utilized speaks volumes about the commitment to improving the family dynamic. The emotional intelligence displayed by all parties in recognizing the need for external support is commendable. Additionally, the growth in your relationship with your husband as a result of facing these challenges is a silver lining in this situation. It suggests that adversity has strengthened your bond, and that you both are willing to work as a team to navigate family difficulties, which is an essential quality in a lasting partnership. While the initial discovery of the lie and the subsequent family rift were undoubtedly painful, the steps taken since then by all involved demonstrate a mature and constructive approach to conflict resolution. Lastly, the cautious optimism you feel towards healing your relationship with your mother-in-law is a healthy stance to take, as it allows for hope for the future while still acknowledging the complexity of the situation and the work that lies ahead. It's clear that through this process, you're all learning valuable lessons about communication, forgiveness, and the importance of addressing personal issues for the sake of family harmony. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.